In this video, I'm going to go over how to make patterns in Illustrator. So I already have here a kind of pattern swatch, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a new document with 3 artboards where I can actually see the pattern swatch, a couple different ways to repeat the pattern, and then a way to use the pattern generator to use it as a fill. So I want to start by going ahead and making a new document. And it is going to be a US letter size. And I want 3 artboards. So I have letter, but now I need to go to more settings, and I need to choose 3 artboards and click create document. I'm just going to go ahead and select these vectors and copy and paste them over. I use Command and C and Command and V. So in the first document, I'm just going to have them there. In the second document, I'm going to now click onto the second artboard and paste them there. And this time I am going to go to Object, and I'm going to group them together. So this way, if I click on one, I kind of click on all of them. And I'm going to go ahead and just make this smaller, holding the Shift key. And then I just want to repeat this 4 times to start to see what the pattern will look like. And there's a couple of different ways that I can do that. I can go to Object, Transform, Transform Each. And then what I can do is I can preview my transform, and I can do simple things like reflect along the x-axis and or the y-axis, so I'm kind of flipping it one way or the other. I can also do things like scale and move, right? So in this case, I'm going to cancel this because really all I want to do is I'm going to want to reflect this. So I'm going to go to transform each, and I'm going to say reflect along the x-axis. I'm going to get my preview, and we're going to see that kind of flips it left to right, and I'm going to click copy. It's important to click copy and then move it over. Okay, and so then I have my pattern repeated there twice. And now I can go ahead and I can actually select both of these, go to Object, and I can go to Transform and Transform Each. And then I can, instead of reflecting X, I can reflect Y and click Copy. Move these down here, and now I have a pattern through reflection here. And of course, this can kind of continue on to really make that pattern go on as long as you want. And that's for reflection, right? We could also do that more manually, but that's the best way to do it so we really control the aspect ratios. If we just simply wanted to grid it out, I could simply copy and paste it, place it next to each other. But here, I'm going to zoom in, and we can see they're not lined up quite perfectly. And so if we wanted to line them up perfectly, we might want to use that transform and move. But then I can copy both of these and paste these and then move them into place here if we just wanted to do a simple grid. But I think it's good to practice transforming and using that reflection tool to get your pattern. So next, we are going to look at the pattern generator. And so with this, I'm just going to go ahead and use these shapes here, and then I'm going to go to Object and Pattern and Make. And then it's going to say the new pattern has been added to the swatches panel, and you can in fact see it right here. Then I'm going to click OK, and then I get a preview of what it's going to look like, and I'm going to zoom out so I can see this. And then you have different options for how you tile it. All right, so we can do brick offset, we can change the offset to a bunch of different ratios. We can go this way. We can increase the number of copies so we start to see what it looks like. We can go ahead and change the spacing of the tiles so that they are further apart or closer together. And I'm just using the arrow keys on my keyboard to make this happen, but we could really have everything overlap a lot, which would give a very different type of pattern result. All right, so if I'm doing something like this, then I get a different kind of pattern. And once I have it the way I want it, I can just X out of the pattern options, and I can just say done. And then what happens is I can come down to my third artboard here and simply draw out a rectangle. And then with the fill option, I can choose my pattern. And then that is it. Now this pattern comes in very large, right? So you might, before you make your pattern, you might want to change the size of your swatches. That will affect the size of the pattern in your final square.